I've got this 3D printed steak from Redefined Meat that is meaty and fibrous, just like real meat, but 100% vegan.
So would you eat a 3D printed meat or a 4D printed meat? Would you? What if you didn't know that it was a 3D or 4D printed meat? You know, right now there are meat on the market that are 3 or 4D printed meat. And I'm going to show you a few videos of them, okay?
I've got this 3D printed steak from Redefined Meat that is meaty and fibrous, just like real meat, but 100% vegan. And I'm going to stick it in a Club Mexicana taco. I mean, it looks meaty. It smells meaty. It's got the layers of protein and fat that you would find in meat. And it's pretty juicy. I'm not gonna lie, it smells disgusting. I probably would think meat smells disgusting too, so I'm gonna be open-minded. Right, now that we've loaded up our tacos, it's time to give it a try. It looks like meat, it smells like meat, does it taste like meat? That is very, very meaty. It's got that umami flavour that you get when you sear meat. Banging. And as always, Club Mexicana tacos are 10 out of 10. Definitely recommend giving it a try.
4D printed steak from Temu. I joke about the Temu part, but this is vegan from Redefined Meat. Look at the logo. Why is the cow upside down? I'm gonna open this, taste it, smell it, cook it. Look at the fillets. It's actually 4D meat juice. You know what? Let me taste it. Am I supposed to be tasting this? This is crazy. Honestly, this smells of cardboard. How does this cook? Look at the intermuscular fat. Look at the protein. I'm following the instructions to a T. 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Medium heat, 3 minutes on each side. Actually looks like steak. For best results, slice with grain. Medium rare. It feels like I'm cutting into something meaty though. It still smells like cardboard. Look at the cross section. It's now time for the moment of false. I'm just gonna try it. Oh my god. Texture. Actually spot on. Feels like meat in the mouth. Even chews like meat. There's a toughness to it. This is actually £8. It's not bad. I thought this would be so much worse than it actually is. Never tried meat in your life. This is the closest thing I think that will come to meat. Feels like it's a muscle. This is soybean. Has it got the meatiness flavor-wise? No. It's not as good as a steak. So why am I paying £8? If it's supposed to mimic it, solely to be cheaper, but I guess it's about the 4D technology. 4D vegan steak, 7 out of 10.
3D chicken. This is crazy. What is that? It's the bubbles under the skin. But like, is that even skin? Like, what is that?
What is it? Like, look at that. And then you pull it and it's just slimy.
Ew, it's just gooey.
What y'all are seeing here is a 3D printer actually printing meat, and it is real and it does exist. Y'all, we are stepping into the era of 3D printed food. They are taking stem cells from animals like cows, chickens, whatever, and they are growing them in a lab. And then they're taking that growth, that juice or whatever, they're putting it into this 3D printer, and then they allow the printer to mix the lab grown stuff with the animal fat to create things like steak. The crazy thing about this is there's a TV show called Upload that came out in 2020 and I started watching it, and baby, when I tell you they are predicting the future. In the show, they have 3D printed food and they call it out constantly how the 3D printed food don't taste like the regular food, and the poor folk, the common folk, were the ones that would eat the 3D printed food while the rich people ate food that was grown in a garden.
What an idiot.
This is so good. Ow! What? Honey, that's a bone.
It's real, friends. It exists. Steaks, burgers, fish fillets, whatever you want. And the thing that really gets me up in a tizzy about this, friends, is that they have researchers dedicated to trying to understand why we coming out with all these ailments and we ill and growing extra limbs and body parts and things like that. And this is what they're doing. I don't know. I feel like you're disrupting the natural way of life, but that's just my opinion.
I've been to Kroger, I've been to Target, I've been to Walmart, I've been to Aldi, Food Lion, Piggly Wiggly, Whole Foods, and Fresh Thyme. Every single one of them has a prepackaged ground meat that will not tell you, number one, where it comes from, number two, where it's packaged, and what kind of procedures that it goes through in order for us to know that it's safe. If you ask them behind the counter, they're going to tell you there's a thing on the back, scan it with your phone, and it's going to take you to a website that the FDA has put out there. And what it's going to say is, it could either be 3D printed, it could be a cloned animal. Let's just put it out there. If that's a problem, well, TikTok, you need to check the FDA website because it says it could be. Folks,
I don't know that what I'm eating is not real meat, that what I'm eating is 4D or 3D printed meat. I would never go out of my way to buy any kind of synthetic meat. You know what I mean? Like if I'm going to eat meat, I'd rather just purchase purchase meat, like a real meat. And I hope they don't deceive people thinking that's a real meat. I hope like when they put this stuff on the shelves, when this stuff are in the grocery stores, I hope they put the proper labels on it, labeling 3D printed meat, 4D printed meat. You know what I mean? I hope they don't deceive us, trying to like package it in a way where the 3 or 4D printed meat is not on the packaging. I feel like if they're going to put something like that on the shelf for consumers to buy and consume, I feel like we need to know where we are eating, and they need to be visibly on the packaging for us to see what we are buying. So that way I risk my life, and my health eating whatever plastic this is. You know what I mean? Because there's no way I'll just go to the supermarket and decide to buy 3 or 4D printed meat. I don't care how much it costs. It could cost $2. I'd rather just not eat meat at all. You know what I mean? So I just hope it's not something deceptive, or I don't know. I haven't really paid attention. I haven't seen any 3 or 4D printed meat in my local grocery stores, or maybe I wasn't looking or checking for it. But now that I've seen videos like this, I'm probably just going to double and triple check packages before I buy any kind of meat from a grocery store. You know what I mean? These guys in these videos, they're really bold by putting their lives at risk for the sake of content, going out of their way to buying it and then cooking it and then eating it. Like I cannot digest stuff like that, knowing what it is or knowing how it was created, like how it was manufactured. I can't. Well, kudos to them for putting their life at risk and trying it and describing to us how it tastes, how it looks like, how the texture, how it smells, and everything else. You know what I mean? But well, now you know. So next time when you go to the supermarket or whatever store that you do your grocery shopping at, make sure you read the labels. Make sure you're actually buying meat. You're not buying any kind of synthetic plastic meat. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is where we are in this world. This is where we are. But I think this is just really diabolical. Like this shouldn't be something that should be remotely considered for people to consume. I feel like this is just very, very sinister. But that's just me, But let me know what you think about this story down in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all in my next video.